Okay. Boo! 9 o'clock on the PM side of the dial. Am I alone? Yes. Yes, I'm alone. However, we don't care. Interestingly, YouTube just told me that I could watch live now. RaindanceBushcraft. Okay. Thank you, YouTube. Thank you for letting me know. I will not open the beer yet. Okay, there are now 2 people watching. Who's here? Sound off, guys. Who we got? Who's hanging with my lonely ass tonight? I'm not really that lonely. The wife is upstairs. Squirtling's asleep. We're fine. Outdoors here. What up, friendly? How's that internet treating you? Everything's up? What do we got? Anthony's here too. Hey guys. Got a couple of little things to show you tonight. But I'm not gonna show you just yet. One thing I will say is this thing has been getting put through its paces in a massive way lately. Some of you guys who've been watching my Instagrams have noticed. But for those of you who don't, I've been... Tyler! What is up? Simon's here as well. Of course. So yeah, for those of you who haven't been keeping up on my Instagram, I've been putting this thing through the paces. What I've been doing is like, you know, doing a little batoning for the barbecue because it's barbecue season. It was 20 degrees today. Celsius. I don't know what that is in the old system. So you know, we broke out the barbecue, and so the way we do the barbecue is lump charcoal and bird's nest and start a fire and light the charcoal that way. So I've been using this to process all my wood from batoning, you know, just like kindling to, you know, and then, you know, obviously I wash it and then I'm slicing strawberries or whatever, or tomatoes or something. And sort of going back and forth and seeing how long I can go before I really have to sharpen this thing. So far it's been pretty good. It's not really shaving sharp anymore, but it's still giving me no problems when it comes to, you know, slicing the fruits. The fruits. Yeah, okay, I'm getting some. But it's not like hair popping sharp the way it used to be, but it's still holding up pretty well. It's still holding up pretty... Hello, English, Jess. Come on. So yeah, for an $18 knife so far, this is almost Mora level goodbye. Oh, yeah, better catch up with everyone. Everyone's still saying hi, everyone. Yeah, Tyler, man, it feels like forever since you've been in a live stream. How's it going? What's up? What's going on? Outdoor, still just using yours for kitchen prep. That's fine. It's a great knife for kitchen prep. What I hadn't really realized, because I looked at this and thought, that's going to be good for processing game. You know? You do this, you know, you're skinning, you got some jimping there, you know, like... But what I hadn't really thought of, because I never really think of a bushcraft knife as a kitchen... Like, as a kitchen knife, I think of it food prep in a camp situation where you're just kind of brute forcing through everything. You know? Like, this, Scandi, garbage in the kitchen, okay? Just, and it's not a bad knife. It's a glorious knife, but it's just so damn, you know, oh, strong like bull, you know? So, like, you're trying to cut a tomato, forget about it. You'll be making ketchup. This, though, like, it's not really a Scandi, right? It's sort of a, it's not even, it's Scandi-esque, but it's a much, much thinner blade. It's got a secondary bevel on it. I gotta give it a better wash. And it's something about this shape, like it's good for rocking, you know, chopping little scallions or whatever. I think it's a brilliant shape for a kitchen knife. Okay. Oh, Tyler, I didn't know. Have we had a musical talk yet? What do you play? Jog my memory a bit. That's a cool job. LT, I was wondering if you were going to be here. Saber grind, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, okay. That's what I was looking for. I also wanted to show you guys something I recently bought, but this is like really on the affordable side. I've been getting so much better at this, and as soon as I turn on the camera, it's like, oops. God damn it. Anyway. I want to show you guys something. Something new. Something I purchased while purchasing something else, which I will also show you, which I also purchased while purchasing something else. Okay, it's a confusing story, but you guys who are old timers will recognize these. Why did I bother cutting this bubble pack? It's not working with it here. How many of you guys recognize that? Like old school military / Boy Scouty types. You recognize that? Oh, you're a violinist, okay. Exactly. LT and Simon. They're can openers. And I've been wanting this simple ass little pissy can opener forever. But it's like, you know, oh, it's $1.76, but I don't want to take my bank card out for $1.76, you know, that kind of thing. But I mean, I was buying other things, so I was like, you know. All right. Okay, hold on. Tyler, Albion Symphony Orchestra, Albion College, violinist, yep. Hello, LT Survival. LT is right, it is beer time. Just give me a second. Simon's right, man. It's funny because Simon is saying he doesn't know why the Canadian belt knife isn't more popular. And it's funny that they're not everywhere like a Woodlore clone is, right? But I feel that it's almost like a golden age for people making them, right? Because this is not that old a product, right? It's relatively recent. Basecamp X makes one. I keep seeing like little one-man shops every now and again. There's a Canadian belt knife, Northman Collective or Guild or whatever they call it. How many of you guys know? That's the company that used to be called John Neiman Tools. But they've suddenly put one out as well. They call the Beaver, creatively. That one's expensive, though. I think I sent a link to Outdoor about it. It's like $500 US or something. But it's like they're starting to show up everywhere. So someone, somewhere has realized the benefits of this weird-looking shape. This alien-ass looking shape. Yeah, I really like it. Outdoor has a P38 on a key ring. Yeah, that's a good place to put them. They've got a hole for it. Tyler, violinist. Oh, a violist. Okay. Oh, that's even better. I like the lower tones of the viola. Yeah. Yeah, that's a cool instrument. I tend to like, in the same way, in, you know, Irish whistles, tin whistles, I like a low D so much better than the high D, even though the low D is not really what you think of in terms of the sound of a tin whistle, but I really like the sound of it. Same, I like the mandola or the octave mandolin better than the mandolin. Simone can't get it. Simone's not letting go of the can openers on every multi-tool ever. I see. Let's see, what do we got? But anyways, I'm jazzed to be having this. I'm buying a few little things because we've got 2 family camping trips coming up, and we're pretty well set up for car camping. But I had been wanting to add a can opener into the mix for a long time. Something else I got. I got a headlamp. Princeton Tech, I don't know if it's any good. It wasn't too expensive. Made in the USA with domestic and foreign components. It got an Editor's Choice Award at Backpacker magazine. Look, I worked in publishing, so I know that that doesn't necessarily mean much. But 150 lumens. It's got 5 modes, most of which I'm not going to care about. There's a flood. There's a red LED, spot beam. You know, I don't know how that works into... Okay, dual beam, spot, flood high, flood low, LED. Okay, so that's 5 modes. Takes 3 AAA batteries. I wish that more... I wish that you could jam a AA into that instead, but anyways. But what I got at the same time was one for Camille. This one has 3 modes, spot high, spot low, and flash. Runs on 2 AA's, also by Princeton Tech, also made in the USA by with foreign and domestic components. This is the Princeton Tech Butt. What's this one called? The Princeton Tech Sync. Those are very millennial hipstery names. Whatever. Anyway, the reason I picked these up is because I think I showed you guys that Camille bought me a dollar store headlamp for Valentine's Day, and I bought her a dollar store one for nothing. She asked for it. But when we're in the bush, so look, she bought me this, so this is the one I'm gonna put on first. If something happens to it, I'm breaking this baby out. Because like if we're in the woods and I'm camping with my daughter, she's not like a tough little bushcrafter, right? If this doesn't work, I gotta have a backup. But there's no way I'm going to use the backup without using this one first, since she bought me this dollar store ass headlamp. Let me see. Tyler, yeah. Tyler says he remembers that a long time ago we had talked about, I was trying to get into more sort of traditional stuff than like the titanium, the polyester, the fiberglass and all that. It is going slowly because I don't really buy a lot of stuff all at once. That's not very traditional. But, like, did I... it's in my bag. You've seen the video where I showed off like my tea can, right? It's enamel, which, as you know, if you've been watching me for a long time, guys, I love me some enamel. Not a big titanium fan. I understand the weight. Yes, I get it, but I don't buy it. Now I do have that titanium tiny stove, which is my first piece of titanium, and that stove shows me what the magic is because it weighs nothing. But I like things that make me think of, you know, a long time ago when everything was a lot simpler, I guess. So I like wool. I like, you know, stamped metal. What the hell was I gonna say? I don't know. That's really weird. Like, I don't have a lot of polymer or whatever it is, you know, that plasticky, oven mitts, but for campfires and stuff, you know. I don't have much of that stuff. Alright, so hold on. But yeah, that's still my end game, Tyler. I don't love the high. Hey, you know what time it is? Beer o'clock. Oh, Simon has a Princeton Tech as well. Okay, which one do you have? LT's drinking Schneider Weiss Aventimus Tap 6. I don't know that one. Is it a white beer? Yeah, Weisse. So it's a white beer. What I'm having, I don't know if I've had this with you guys before or not, but Bison Mécanique. Saison à l'herbe de bison. What does it say? Brewed and served by Le Saint-Boc since May 2015. Bison Mécanique was the very first beer brewed in Quebec with bison grass. The herbaceous, floral, and fruity character conferred by this very special grass and its subtle aromas of anise and vanilla are balanced perfectly with just enough bitterness. An untamable beer to be consumed with passion. Now get your beast out and free your thirst for discovery. Are you ready to challenge the Bison Mécanique? I want to make my living writing those. Oh, Outdoor is not drinking because he's reloading ammo. This is a 5.5%, 500 milliliters. And I think I've had it before. See how well I did that? Cheers, lay boys. Oh, that's got a complex taste, man. Holy cow. Man, there's all kinds of stuff happening there. Outdoor, what are you reloading right now? I used to really want to get into reloading. I was going to get like that Lee starter kit and everything, but it's like I can't get into everything that interests me because I don't live in a mansion. I don't have enough room to just, oh, I'm interested in reloading, buy everything. Oh, I'm interested in astronomy, buy everything. I have a really nice telescope, by the way. You know, oh, I'm interested in blah, buy everything. I can't do it because I need room to move. But I would, you know, someday I'd like to reload. I also don't shoot enough really to make it worth my while. You know, like I can't afford to be a member of the nearest gun club because it's like $480 a year or something. And the nearest outdoor range is in I think it's Terrebonne. So it's not like I can just hop in the car and drive off, you know, and get home. And even get there before sundown. No, I could probably just get there before sundown, but like, you know. Wait, howdy Scott. Did Scott? Hey Scott, how's it going? What's 9:15? Am I missing something here? Let me go back. Oh, I get what you're saying. Beer o'clock. Princeton Tech Fuel. I don't know that one. I mean, I don't know much about them at all. I just it was an okay price. $223 Remington, okay. Tyler, yes, I am. This is the latest Raindance Bushcraft t-shirt, which hilariously goes with the latest Raindance Bushcraft bottle. I didn't want to show this one off, but somebody brought it up, so. Where are we? Hey, Luke! There's more than one outdoor range around Montreal. Yeah, but Simon, I don't know where any of them are. You know? I have no idea where. You know what? I need to find two things in or around Montreal. I need to find a good gunsmith, because the length of pull on my butt is a little too long for my stupid, stubby little arms. But I don't just want to do a hack job on it, because my rifle is really nice. And I want to find an outdoor range nearby that, you know, doesn't take too long to get to. Okay, I thought I was going to burp. I was like, no. Outdoor. In order not to stress you any further, I won't tell you what a membership at my local range costs. Yeah. Sorry, guys. Scott reloads 45 ACP. That's a handgun round. And oh yeah, 308. Yeah, I'm very, very curious about 308. I think that's a short pull. Mine's a long pull. I've got 270 Win, well, as you guys know. But I want to try out a 308 at one point. Oh, Luke's setting up fishing rods. Yeah, that's the thing, Simone. It's getting harder to find a good gunsmith. There's that Dante's Sporting Goods or whatever. You know the store in Little Italy? That's all kitchen stuff at the front of the store, and then a gun shop at the back of the store. You know that place? They do gunsmithing, but I've heard from two different people that they sort of do a hack job, so I don't want to entrust my sweet rifle to them. Who was I having this conversation with? Jaegerheim, who's not with us. But I talk with Jaegerheim a lot about guns. He's got a lot of nice stuff. Simone doesn't trust Dante either, see? But they're the only guys sort of that are easy to get to that I know about, you know? Like, I think if we were living in whatever, you know, Wyoming or Minnesota or something, we'd probably have no trouble finding gunsmiths. But, you know, whatevs. I hope you guys don't mind if I repair the kitchen honing rod while we chat. I should probably sand that up a little bit just to get a little... But not with a 320. That would be defeating my purpose completely. What do I got? What do I have? What do I got around here? What do I got around here? I think 180s is rough as it comes. Convenience is the death of quality. So much truth. Oh, wow. Oh, that one kind of hurt. Sorry, guys. Yeah, Simon, the outdoor range that I've been going to is Le Ruisseau Noir. And I think that's in Terrebonne. Mont Saint-Bruno, Saint-Jean-sur-Richelieu. Yeah. I got a little texture going there with the 180 sandpaper. Maybe I'll give it a little acetone action, little acid one action to clean it off before using before going full epoxy on it. Bim! Oh, this stuff smells like crap. It smells like the crap, the garbage. It smells like the garbage. For the rest of today, I will talk like Ricardo Montalban. No, I'm not really going to do that because that would be racially insensitive. And okay, someone wants to discuss firing ranges outside the live stream. Fine. Yeah, actually, we should discuss firing ranges away from outdoor at Dauber because he's probably like, oh, what are you talking about? I got 3 ranges on my block. Outdoor. Oh, and by the way, guns cost $0.25 and ammunition costs $0.05. What? Yeah, but Valcartier is not so far from you as it is from me. Like where you usually live. Fixed. I'm just kidding. Okay, what am I gonna... But you know... Where the hell did my... Where in the name of tarnation did my epoxy go? Darn burn it, epoxy. Where you gone now? I ain't kidding. No, seriously, dude. Where the hell are you? I have got to get this place organized. Epoxy. Maybe I'm not going to be fixing this while we chat. What in the most epic hell... Oh, for land's sakes. I don't know where this is. I can't find it anywhere. Has anyone seen this? Let me see. Our hand tool loadout is always a good topic. Tyler, man, you're warming my heart. Oh, Tyler, you haven't seen this. I think the rest of you have. It's a box. It's a box from a company called Tischler Werkzeug. Tischlerwerkzeug.de. In this box by Tischler Werkzeug is a Knabenhobel, which I'm about to show you. Most of you guys have seen this, but Tyler has not. It's very nice. It's made in Germany. Tischler Werkzeug. A gentleman's plane. See how this is like, it's a right-handed plane? I cannot wait to get this into action. I've decided it's waiting for my workspace to be organized and blah blah blah. But man, it's really nice. And I got it at Lee Valley. And they get really expensive, but the gents plane is like 80 bucks Canadian. If you went to the American Lee Valley, it would be, I don't know, maybe 70 or something. And it's just, I mean, oh, it's so nice looking. It's so, you know, look at this. Look at where the, do you see? Like the wood isn't just sort of sandwiched, but it's actually, you know, it's not dovetailed, but look at that. Look at that. That, they're just showing off, man. I can't wait to get this into action. Especially because I think that planing is every good woodworker's guilty pleasure. Like when you got the plane dialed right in, the iron is sharpened right up, and you just and take off a long thin curl. Man, you know what I'm saying? Just can't beat it. Hike with Mike. What's up, man? Oh, Tyler's got Stanley Sweethearts. Okay. Mm-hmm. The planes I use are all metal. They're all Stanleys. Right? I think I've shown you that this is the one that I use the most. Right? Stanley. It's a fairly precious Stanley, because what you can't see in there is that my Stanleys are all made in Canada. They're all made in Canada Stanleys. They're not made in England. They're not made in the US. I like collecting the made in Canada ones because there ain't that many of them. But I mean, the thing is, the full-on metal planes last longer, right? Because with the wooden ones, as you use them over time, you start to wear away the wood, so you end up with a much wider throat on them. Here's one that I'm going to restore. Like, which you can't see because the camera isn't so great on this, but it's, okay, the metal's chewed up too, but like, there's been, you know, over time, the throat's been sort of getting worn away and damaged, and like, see all that scoring and everything. Obviously, you don't end up dealing with that. Obviously, you don't have to deal with that on the full-on metal ones, right? Let me see. Hold on. Okay. Hike with Mike came on. Nice to see you. Outdoor Dauber, yes I am. There are 4 ranges plus my, I guess that's brother-in-law owns 2 gun shops, right? Oh, he owns 2 of them. Interesting. Yeah, I also love using plane shavings for fire starters. It's fabulous. I don't waste any of the wood that comes that you know, any of these like shavings from planing or any of it. It all goes into fire starter for me. Outdoor Daubers being funny. All the Stanleys are made in Connecticut? No. They're made in several different locations. Mike, I do the same thing. A quick toss in lamp oil and a short drying period works wonders. Let me go back to finding out what he's talking about. Hike with Mike. Oh! Interesting. You're talking about using the plane shavings. You toss them in lamp oil. Okay. I hadn't even thought of that. Doc Holliday. Right. The quote. Sorry. I totally missed that. That's going down a little fast. I'm just gonna slow down. I'm just gonna slow down on that there, because them newfangled beers, they can do some damage, you know what I'm saying? Kerosene, not paraffin, okay. Man, I never even thought of that. Excuse me while I do a little epoxying. I don't need very much epoxy because I'm not doing very much with it. Oh, piss on a biscuit. Stop. Stop coming out. There we go. Got epoxy on my hands. Okay, give it a little mixy. But yeah, I like old Stanleys. What I would like to have is a full-on Stanley jointing plane. What was it called? A number 8? You know those really big ones? I mean, I know I've got the big transitional there, but I'd like a transitional Stanley. Sweetheart! But, you know, any transition, or a record. Oh, man. Yeah. A nice record. But any plane, what I would like from a Stanley, you know, a metal bottomed plane. I'd like something from like 40s or 50s, I think. Like, I know a lot of guys are like, yeah, look at my plane, man, it's from 1893. I don't want a plane from 1893. I want a plane from like 1945, 1942 to, you know, like 40s, 50s. That seems to have been the best era, right around there, because, you know, they got the size of the knobs dialed in, right? It's like, you know, you see pictures of those really old planes, and like this, you know, like this baby right here is like tiny, and this is really low, and blah blah blah. It's like when they got to the mid 20th century, they finally got it dialed in. And so, you know, to me, mid 20th century plane, yeah. Once you get to this, maybe even into the early 60s, but after that, the quality starts to drop off. So that's my pinnacle for me. That's where I will spend money, you know. I'd like to get I'd love to have a record, actually. I used to have a Stanley, also made in Canada, like a little, what do they call it, a block plane or a palm plane? You know, the ones that are really low. But wherever it is, it's where my fire kits that I've lost are, and my my YouTube cap. Man, lately I've been losing stuff like you would not believe. It is crazy. It is cray. Oh, you want to see something else that Camille asked me to buy her? Little saw. Daddy, I want a saw like you have. So I bought her this little one because I think that'll be a lot more controllable. Excuse me. When she saw it, she was adequately impressed. I think she's excited to have it. Now that is interesting. My buddy Robin and I have been having this conversation. You know, on those panel saws and everything. I've always wondered how they get that slot to be the right shape for, you know, the back of saw blades is always sort of like this. But they didn't even bother with this. They just like sliced down. They didn't even care about. Oh, see, right there. It's like they just went, all right, next, and then put 2 pins through it. Man, they really don't make them like they used to, eh? Hey, Stanley. Whatevs. Anyway, got my epoxying done, so that's one thing off the. Let me see. Simon Fauchette, I'd like to get a Veritas. Any Veritas? Me too. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Especially, well, not especially. No, any Veritas. They do. They do a custom deal, right, where you can pick the size of the tote, like all the handles and stuff. I think you can pick the size and the angle. But to me, just, man, here's a Veritas number 4, plain. Thank you. You know. Yeah, it's a block plane. Hike with Mike, greatest teacher you had was a wood shop, metal shop, and masonry teacher. Yeah, it's funny how much how much you can learn from a hands-on dealio trade or whatever that you can then bring into the rest of your life. By the way, I know I didn't open this up to show you guys, but I'm not. These are coming to the campsite in the package, and obviously I'll bring some extra batteries. And if our headlamps fail, we'll pop these babies open. But yeah, you know, there's all kinds of physical stuff that that's portable to the rest of your life, you know. He's right. You learn about life. It's not just, you know, not just birdhouses, as he says. But people don't tend to, I don't know, man, people don't think about stuff like that. LT, when I finally get a permanent bushcraft bag, I think I might put this on that. LT and I have been talking about patches for a while because I will have some patches made. I put a poll up for the Patreon guys just to tell me which color they wanted, which color I should have. My patch design is a lot simpler than this, but this has there's a lot of information on this one. It's pretty good. It shows LT. Are those like the 6 most important knots you've got on there, or did you just pick knots at random? And then there's firecraft, watercraft, a whistle, camping. Thing is, there's like a bushcraft knife, and then there's a something else. I've been meaning to. Is that? Oh, it's a compass. It's a compass blade, isn't it? To go with the actual, or the compass hints and the rest of the. Yeah. I'm smarter than I thought. It feels like a good quality patch. I like this. I like it a lot. I think you've done good. I didn't have a shop class in high school. I went to a fine art school. So I had band, I had choir, I had theater, I had art. So I'm teaching myself all the shop stuff now in life. Here's a question for you guys. Think I should use this to make fire steel handles and stuff? This, I found this. This used to hang on the wall above the door in my bedroom. I found it while I was out shooting a film for school in the forest. And we just sort of found it lying there. It was, you know, it was the winter time, I think. No, it wasn't quite winter, but it was, like, it wasn't the height of summer either. And so it's been on my wall ever since. But when we moved here, it ended up in a box and never came out. I'm wondering if maybe I should make handles out of it or something. Because if it's going to just stay in a box, I might as well use it and get this. I love this. Look at that. Look at that texture, boy. Oh, scrambled out. Somebody tell him to start making videos again. I don't know, but man, you gotta have some hard-ass tools to work that, I imagine. But I don't know. What do you think? Yeah, I could get one good. Thing is, if I'm gonna make a knife handle out of it, then I'll need to put like a brass bolster or something, right? Because if I just cut that off and stick a blade in it, it's gonna be really porous. So if I'm like, it's fine while I'm making wood shavings, but then if I cut a steak, you know what I'm saying? I think I'm gonna have to put like a brass bolster on it if I do a knife handle. I gotta think on that a little longer. But I may. I don't know how to work with antler. I've worked with bone before. Just check something here, folkies. LT is just telling me about the patch design. Anthony, man, it's too heavy to scratch my back with. Actually, that's really good. I'll just like lean it there. Gonna put myself to sleep doing that. So, big change in my life. Today, I paid off. Today, I made my GST PST payment. For those of you who aren't Canadian, you don't know what that means. Excuse me. Okay, let me just simplify it. Today, I did my last tax payment as a freelancer. And like, even though I stopped freelancing in January, and I've been working, you know, as a 9-to-5 schmuck, the fact that I still had to do the freelance tax nightmare was sort of hanging over me. It feels now that like, it feels like I've turned that last page. And you know, it's funny because I thought that after 20 years of working as a freelance writer and editor and translator, I thought that it would be really sad to turn the page and move on. But are you kidding me? It feels like somebody turned on the lights in this place. It feels, man, I've been like walking on sunshine. Like I don't have to do, because man, the income taxes when you're self-employed are an absolute stuff storm wrapped in a great big pile of poo. It's stressful, and if you're not great with numbers like I am, it's horrible. And the idea of just like leaving that behind me is so glorious, you know. On top of now knowing how much I make every 2 weeks, on top of not having to invoice to get paid, on top of not having to worry about whether or not I'm going to have the mortgage paid in 6 months, on top of not worrying about whether or not the squirtling is being fed, and worrying about how the wife can keep the entire household going when things are slow. On top of all that stuff, making that very last tax payment and knowing that next year I don't have to do the agony that this was, I don't even walk on sunshine. No regrets. Very excited. I'm not going to say wish I'd done it sooner. I kind of do wish I'd done it sooner because, you know, half decade of being very underemployed. Ugh. And I tried to do it sooner, you know. But anyways, it was a big deal. I was really, really happy. But man, the guy at the guy at Revenue Quebec who I dealt with, whew, what a surly boy. You know, I mean, tax season, so he's probably hating life. But man, because I walked in and I was all puppies and kittens, right? I was really polite. I walked in, salut, comment ça va? And he was like, why? Guess you were kind of thing. He didn't say, sorry. I'll do that in English. I sort of walked in and I was like, you know, I was all cheerful. Hi, how's it going? He was like, oh, is that how it's going to be? Okay. And I had an envelope. And I wanted to mail it, and I was like, do you know if there's a mailbox anywhere in the mall or whatever? And he's like, I don't know. Okay. You just enjoy your life, guy. I'll take my slip and go. Where were we? Simon, that are you talking about the Lee Valley plane that creates like the fire lighter, like the shavings that are really long? I want that too. That's expensive, but that, man, I really like that thing. Is that the one you're talking about? The one that you go along the edge of a 2x4 or something and you get this long, thin spiral? It's not really a spiral. It's like a... I don't remember. Outdoors back, Miss. Okay. How's the missus? Hi, good Mike. No, Canada used to have a tax on taxes. No, it's really stupid. The federal government's GST is 5%, and in Quebec there's a PST or QST of like 9.5%. And the thing is, up until very recently, that QST was taxed on the amount of the capital plus the 5%. So you were being taxed on the GST as well as the full price of the thing. The government of Quebec has rejigged it so that that's no longer happening, but they've slightly changed the tax rate so that it still ends up being the same amount as it used to be. So it's like now it's 9.561 or something. But yeah, for a long time, PST was taxed on the capital, or the item, plus the 5% tax. This was really freaking dirty, man. I mean, I'm not anti-tax. I'm not, I want the roads to be done. I want teachers to have jobs. But I also want value for my money. And taxing me on a tax is not value for my money. So I'm glad they changed it. It really irritates me that they just bumped the rate up a little bit to, so that they didn't take any less money. All right. Mike Morton's here. What's up, Mike? Check me out, Holmes. It's buffalo grass beer. Is it called bison grass? Bison grass. Is it called bison grass or buffalo grass? I don't know. Like, because we translate everything here, I'm never sure if the terminology being used is proper. It's 5.5%, 500 mils. It's got a really... There's a lot of stuff happening in the taste department on this. Are you drinking something tonight, Mike? Oh, LT, you got that piece 865B? Let me check that. I think I looked at that one. Rican Knives, Canada.ca. Let me see. Let me see. They also do fixed blade knives. They've got like multis and everything. Oh yeah, okay, that's the one. No, it's not the one I was looking at to purchase, but I like. It's got that weird kind of tanto-y look that I'm not that into, but it's got a really classy, like minimalist thing going on that I really like. Let me see. Yeah, I was really disappointed with that other slim one that you brought over that I couldn't get open. Which number was that? I don't remember. But I think the is it the P801? That's a flipper. I'd like to give a flipper a try. Aside from the Benchmade 940-2. Oh no, I've lost my live dashboard. My live. Oh, what type of beer you said, Mike? It doesn't really say. It's like, it's not a dark, that's for sure. Like, I don't know if it's not an ale. It's weird that it doesn't say what it is. Bison grass beer. It's more on the hoppy side than the malty side, but not too much. It's not like an IPA. It's not like, you know. Sometimes I drink an IPA and it feels like it's sort of going. I tend to like them a little maltier, but it's sort of, it's hard to say because the bison grass or buffalo grass or whatever the hell you call it in English is so present. It kind of overpowers like some of the distinguishing characteristics of like ale versus pilsner versus lager versus, you know, IPA versus blah 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 blah. Bose All Day IPA, nice. You know, it's funny because they sell Bose here now, and when Bose appeared here, I was like, oh no, because very often when, like, say Creemore, showed up here, it was because I think they got bought by Labatt or Molson, right? Like, someone big buys a craft brewery and suddenly you can get it all across Canada. I mean, the same thing is happening in the States and everywhere else. So when we suddenly started getting Bose here, I was like, no. But I don't think they got bought. Like, they make sort of a big noise that, you know, they're pretty staunchly independent, so I'm very happy about that. You can't get Bose everywhere, but where you can get it, I make a point to buy it, because they make good juice. And if they're staying independent, then I have to reward that with my dollars, you know? Hold on, guys. Simon just sent me yes, Simon, that is exactly the spill plane that I was thinking about. I would love that plane because I would use it for exactly that, making, you know, fire lighters. You know, it's funny because I don't have a fireplace or a wood-burning stove because I live in Montreal, but I love stuff like that, you know. Yeah, Mike, you know, it's funny, when I sat there on Van Cleek Hill, the first thing I thought of was that, I don't know if there still is, but there used to be a gun show in Van Cleek Hill. That was the first gun show I ever went to was in Van Cleek. In fact, I haven't been to one since. There used to be a gun show in Westmount at the arena, but the arena's gone and so is the gun show. But aside from that, the only one I've ever been to was Van Cleek. And I keep wanting to go back if it's still there. But I'd like to go back with like a few $100 in my pocket so I can, you know, pick something up. Like I still sort of have the dream of getting my Lee Valley my Lee Enfield unsporterized, you know. And you know, as I keep saying, I like old-fashioned cartridges. You know, that's the best place to get like old-fashioned. Like maybe there's a nice Henry and a 30-30 or something, you know. But you know what, Simon? I kept forgetting that it was called a spill plane. The reason that I've had trouble finding it was because I was looking for like kindling plane or tinder plane. Of course, I guess Tinder plane is the date you don't want. Oh, come on, Jessica, that's not nice. But anyways. Do I have anything else to show you guys? It seems that lately everything I've bought's been because Mike Morton's mentioned it. Everything except that plane. Anyway. Yeah. I think my next actual purchase will be a 1 by something belt sander. Because, oh, stop it. With the belching. Because I really want to get this thing done. I want to finish it. I think it'll be a nice neck knife sized. I think I'm going to round this off a bit more. Haven't quite decided. Well, maybe I should just square it off. I wanted to maintain, I wanted to save this. It's not actually the shape that it originally was. Like, I cut that. Like, you know, it used to come to a, you know, it had a tang there, so I cut that off and I drilled a hole through it. But because there's, you know, there's writing there that I don't want to lose. What did it say? Nicholson, made in Canada. What else? What is? And on the other side it says Mill Bastard. So I was thinking of just like ending the handle right before the words. Just sort of like an homage to what this knife used to be. But anyways, so like just a really cheap 1 by blah 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 belt sander that I can put a platen on and a jig. Outdoor, yeah, I know. 6.5 Swedish Mauser. I know. Here's the thing, outdoor. I'm Canadian, so the 3/03 British is Canadiana. It is to us what the 30/06 is to you guys. You know, they're everywhere. Like every hunter practically has one in his gun case, even if it never gets used. It was like his grandpa's. And here's the thing: whenever a generation goes to war, what they come back having fired kind of becomes that generation's hunting rifle. Like at one point it was all muskets and black powder, right? But you know, you get to, you know, I don't even know. All right, we'll skip all that stuff and go straight to World War I, right? Where everyone was using you know, a 3/03 and a Lee Enfield lever or whatever, not lever, bolt action or whatever the Americans were using. It was a Springfield or something, you know. And then over time, hunting rifles became associated with bolt actions. Levers have been there, but I mean they were there since cowboy times. But I mean most of the rifles around were bolt actions. You know, World War II, same deal. Aside from the Garand, of the vast majority of the rifles were bolts, you know. And then you get to guys going to Desert Storm and everything, and the idea of the, you know, the 5.5 whatever is 223 Remington, I think, is the civilian, and the idea of the AR-15 style rifle, not in Canada for legal reasons, but down in the States you can find these things, you know, being used for hunting. And I think it's because, you know, generations come back from war with a comfort zone, a firearm comfort zone that is centered on what they used in the day-to-day, what saved their lives possibly, what they used to, you know, hunt people with, you know. I still, you know, to me, lever action and bolt action are where it's at. You know,